Lots of people do not know what a vascular surgeon is. Like recently, we brought Ayah here. Her story went viral. She's a young Palestinian girl who was just sitting in her house in Gaza, and a bomb ripped through it and mangled one leg severely and essentially almost tore the other leg off. Her uncle is a surgeon who was working in Gaza. He amputated the leg, and she got eventually airlifted to South Carolina, where they couldn't get somebody to get the expensive prosthetic that she needed. I mean, these prosthetics can range like $12,000. So I work as a vascular surgeon. I work with many prosthetics groups, and I got one of the groups to donate a limb, and then so they donate the parts, and you have to construct it and put it all together. So me and this prosthetist that I've worked with for years, he and I did all the work in their office in the back, constructing the whole limb, and it would be like a $12,000 limb that she couldn't have otherwise had.
It's not complicated, it's pretty simple. There is a military occupation of Palestinian lands that has culminated into the ethnic cleansing of the Palestinian people. Palestinians have been forcibly removed from their homes. We're seeing the live streamed image of Palestinians being ethnically cleansed and a genocide taking place.
Hamas committed a horrible act when they killed 1,200 people, or were involved in the deaths of 1,200 people, and took at least 200 to 300 hostages. That is terrible. But if you simultaneously then look at the math, just the simple math of going, well, now we have 40,000 Palestinians who are dead, and every school, every hospital, every home, every area where there might be shopping is just decimated. And then on top of it, we have thousands of children who have lost limbs and died. It doesn't make any common sense. I mean, I think anyone outside of the United States and Israel wouldn't be having a debate. They'd just be like, it's gotten out of control.
This has been very personal for me. As I mentioned, my family is from Khan Yunis. Khan Yunis is a suburb of Gaza. It's just south of Gaza City, and tons of my extended family and relatives still live in that area. And so since October 7th, over 140 of them have been killed by the Israeli aggression that has been ongoing. About 30 of them have been taken hostage by Israel and have been spending, the past 5, 6, 7 months in Israeli prisons, being subject to torture, to starvation, lack of medical care. So it's been very difficult for me personally for a multitude of reasons. I mean, obviously, number one is you grieve very heavily. Obviously the people, your family, but also the places that were so familiar, but now look unrecognizable.
I want them to see that our children deserve to have a full meal, just like their child does. And not to just scroll past or move past the pictures of our children, our elderly, our disabled.
I'm really grateful for the community that I have here, for the support system that I have, because we've all been grieving through it together. As I said, Palestinians and non-Palestinians alike, not just Muslims, not just Arabs. Many people have had the veil lifted over their eyes and see the situation for what it is.
It's very difficult to get support when the whole entire Gaza Strip has been decimated. We've never seen that in human conflicts, where hospitals that are actually supported by international law not to be targeted, all the hospitals in Gaza have been destroyed. Hospital workers, doctors, nurses have been killed. That's never happened in international conflict. These are people that are protected by international law, and what we're seeing is the execution of doctors. We have now over 210 doctors that have been executed for providing care for their patients, and because they refuse to leave their patients in the beds. We've never seen this before. And so from our side of medical community support systems, trying to bring in medical providers, even on the outskirts in Egypt, to provide the medical aid, they still are getting targeted. They still are getting killed. And so to see that happen, and to see it live time happen, to see all nonprofit organizations for the first time collaborate, to see how can we get aid, only to see it being pushed out by the Israeli government. It wasn't acceptable in Bosnia, it wasn't acceptable in Rwanda, it wasn't accepted during the Holocaust, and sure is not acceptable in Palestine. So what's next is we need the medical community. We need international leaders. We need the human consciousness to wake up so that when we say never again, it truly means never again. It doesn't matter what your identity is. If you're black or brown, if you are Muslim, Christian, Jewish, Hindu, it doesn't matter. What matters is basic human rights are entitled and inalienable to every single human being on this planet.